I'm trying to like slow make this. I'm trying to make this roast, and it needs to be like a low heat for like 12 hours.
And I burn
Okay. Who's the first one in? Who's the first one in the tavern?
Technically, that would be Airy, but he's holding the door open for everybody else, so whoever ends up going first is going to be the first one. So. Don't everybody
Okay,
speak
Harmony's
up at
first.
once.
Harmony's the first one through.
Harmony first. I'm gonna start the firefight.
No one
Too
speak
late.
GM picks. There we go. So, Harmony, you enter first, and you immediately see kind of the inside is pretty similar, except that there's an immediate heat that is not outside. You get the sense as you enter the tavern through through the stained wooden door, you are just welcomed by a room warmed by the proximity of many bodies in a smallish, it's really not a small space, but with the amount of people in it, it feels really kind of small. There's also a certain smell that goes with that many travelers in one place that you get. There is a small hint of reminds you of Gorm, but like a lot worse. And if you had to be right next to him, there is a small hint of lavender in the air. So you feel like maybe the tavern has tried to deal with the smell. It hasn't quite succeeded though.
You don't have the kind of money required to buy that amount of lavender.
Probably not. But you do see a human. What looks to be a human bartender. He seems to be quite busy with the orders. He doesn't even acknowledge you guys as you enter in. Really, not very many people acknowledge you guys as you enter. But as you cross the threshold and you're looking about and you're just kind of taking it all in, your attention is immediately drawn to sounds of what sound to be like, fighting, anger. You hear some shouting, and you hear a large thwack as a large kind bulky human gets thrown and crashes into a table just a little bit away from you and crashes into people's food. And you hear a couple of people like, "What's going on? Hey, calm down!" And you see in the center of this kind of kerfuffle a small armored individual with a large hammer. And she looks off and she says, "I don't deal with no cheats or thieves. I'm gonna deal with you next if you don't give me back my money." And you hear a couple. This grabs the barkeep's attention. He's like, "Hey, quit that!" And he stops mid-track as the dwarven woman looks back at him and says, "Hey, you keep out of this, barkeep, or you'll be next. Just please, just don't ruin furniture, please. Just refrain from." "I won't." She looks around at the room. She eyes you, Harmony. She looks at you and your party. She scans the rest of the group. "Let it be known that one there is a cheat. He cheats at cards, and he's gonna owe me for every piece of silver he's cheated me out of it." So his friend starts coming up behind her, and you see one of them, Harmony, being a keen military person, you see one of them starts drawing a knife and is getting ready to stab her in the back. But before you can say anything, she swings her hammer up and knocks him full in the face, and he goes slamming up against the wall behind him. She's like, "Don't think I don't have eyes in the back of my head, because I do. The rest of you, all the money on the table."
Yeah, Harmony's gonna go over to the bar and like, "Barkeep, give me something good, because I'm enjoying the show."
He doesn't take his eyes off of the dwarf, but he does start pours you a drink.
So, yep, I'm just like, I'm like leaning casually up against the counter, just like, this is entertaining. Like, I'm good here. It's like, I'm looking at everybody else like.
Everyone seems to have given her full reign of what's going on. No one seems to be ready to help these guys, and the rest of you file in and take up seats, and you watch as the two humans that have been smashed to pieces on either side slowly pick themselves up. Their friends start emptying their coin purses and putting it down on the table. They come in too, and They put it down. She's like, and she puts her hammer down and she kind of rests on it. She's like, "Thank you kindly. The light will be grateful for your donations. Off you go now. Out, out." They kind of slowly pick up their weapons. They pick up themselves off the floor, kind of like rub blood off of their faces, and scramble out. And she leans up against the table with her pile of silver now. She's like, "Barkeep, more! I need another round. Clearly, I have money to spend now." And he finishes.
I'm gonna run straight up to her.
All right. So you get there about the same time as the bartender with a couple of glasses and.
Yeah,
and
when I see Winter going up to the dwarf, I'm like, dang, now I have to pay attention and not just enjoy this. And somebody that's in my group is near this person with the hammer.
Gorm sees your expression and just puts a hand on your shoulder. Sort of going like, no, you don't. Just don't.
I'm not fighting the dwarf.
No, just don't involve yourself at all in any way. Just let whatever silliness is gonna happen. You don't need to get involved.
Okay, Winter.
I'm gonna run up to her and I'm gonna be like, "Hi, I'm Winter. That was pretty cool."
So as you approach, you get close enough to see the small dwarven woman, small compared to you, but I mean she's still a dwarf, so she's got a bulk to her. She's wearing a very fine, almost royal blue armor, which has intricate golden outlines throughout it. Her hammer is almost identical to her armor. It seems to have the same motif. She has very long blonde hair and striking blue eyes that almost match the gems on her armor. And she turns to you. She takes a large mug. She nods at the barkeep and kind of moves some of the silver over. And she's like, "Hey, Winter, I am Daphne Stonehammer, Paladin of the Light. How can I help you?" "Pleasure to meet you. Would you like a drink? Are you cheats and cards?"
Oh, what? No.
"Well, then you can sit at the table with me."
And I sit right down and like,
"Barkeep, I need another drink for my young friend over here."
Is there coffee here?
Nah, coffee.
No.
Okay.
She looks over at you, Harmony, as you say that.
No,
You want
that
to
was out of
join us
character.
too?
That was not even. It's not in character. It was not saying no in character.
Okay.
Isn't it kind of loud? I wouldn't really be able to hear that, would I? Because it's kind of loud.
Daphne's speaking really loud. Daphne, you can hear Daphne no matter where you are. Like, you're right, everyone's
So
gone
we're
back
not
to the
gonna
conversation.
involve her in our secret plans, because then everybody's gonna know about secret plans.
But, yeah, seems like no matter how much everyone else is speaking, you can hear Daphne. "Coffee, that's disgusting. You're a young one. You're never gonna get hair on your chest if you don't drink that out. Fine ale, over here. We need more ale." She's the barkeep. He's like halfway back to you, Harmony, and you see him put his head down and turn around and go back to her. Takes another cup out, pours it for you, Winter. I assume, ma'am, this is also on your tab. Hey, yeah, whatever. Deal with it later. It's on my tab. Sure. Go. I'm sure you have other customers to deal with. Of course. So what brings you here?
Oh, I'm traveling with some friends. We're just traveling through. And
That's really not that epic of a story. You came all the way down to sit next to me, and you're just telling me you're traveling through. There's got to be more to it than that.
I can give you an epic story. My friends might not approve of me giving you the epic story, so I'm giving you the forward version.
Well, what does it matter what your friends approve? I am a dwarf. I'm sitting at a table. There's a lot of coin in front of me. You might have some of it if you just share your story.
Is she saying
I'm giving you an
so I can hear this?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm going over it.
Gorm shrugs and he just.
This is Harmony. He's a good friend. I point at him as he's walking over.
Hi, Harmony. Light greets you. How are you? She'd tell me that you'd be upset with telling a bit of an epic tale. Perhaps you would like to tell it a little bit better in a way that won't be offensive.
You seem to talk too loudly for such tales. I haven't seen a dwarf on our travels yet. What brings you all the way from Vechaunus?
I'm seeking out all the temples of the light that have been damaged by evil. I'm on a journey, a pilgrimage, you might say, to visit all the holy sites, see them for myself. Always heard about them, but was like, picture books, what are those good for? I could go see them myself, so I decided to go. Just left Seashine, actually. I was involved in some interesting things with some interesting people. Some of them were cool. Some of them were bizarre. But they left me behind in the last town I was in, and, I thought about going with them. Thought about it. Then I was like, I've never been to Quiddus. So I decided to come to Quiddus.
Out of character, we didn't mean to leave her.
But you did! But you did!
Oh, this is from the other group.
Yes, Daphne Stonehammer is a return character. Or someone. Which is why I was like, I gotta bring her back.
So you were just on Vechaunus?
Well, just is, relative to word. It was maybe a month ago. I haven't really kept track. Also, the amount of ale I consume makes it difficult to keep numbers in line.
Okay, I'm not gonna ask you to fill me in on details then.
So, I told you my life story, or at least one of them. I feel it's only necessary that you do the same in return. And as I told the young one, I might be willing to share some of the coin if it's entertaining enough.
Yeah, I'm just like looking at her like I already told you I'm not telling the story. Like it's like, my face is like you're stupid enough to tell you your story, but I said I wasn't gonna tell you my story. Like I don't what am I gonna do? I just take another sip of my drink. So you fight pretty well.
Well, I look at Harmony a little like.
At first she seems like she might be annoyed with your silence. Then her face changes into sort of a visure of respect and she nods at you. Keeping it close to the chest. Smart. I mean, I don't really do that because I figure, it's the light will protect me, and if I get into trouble, well, that's where this one comes in. She puts her hand on the hammer. But not everyone has the prowess that I have, so I can respect wanting to keep yourself safe and away from danger, if you need be.
Prowess
But
isn't
yes.
a problem.
You gotta speak up, lad. I can barely hear what you're saying.
Prowess
It's
isn't
very
a
loud.
problem.
I mean, you don't have to lie, son. It's fine. Not everyone can be a great fighter. But yes, to your point, yes, I'm pretty handy with a hammer. Been training since I was 4 years old with it. My granddad made it for me. Great blacksmith. Made me all the armor you see here too. Although, of course, to the paladin standards.
Yeah, I'm just here to make sure. Harmony's just like I don't even. This is just not even interesting, like whatsoever. Like he's just like, I'm here because otherwise Winter's gonna say something that the dwarf's gonna say something loud and stupid. So he's just like sitting there. So he's just sitting there. So Winter wants to do anything. Harmony's just like back in the chair. Like,
So it seems like you won't, you're not here to say anything about yourself, so I'm going to tell you something that I know. You're a glomling, aren't you?
just take another sip, like.
I used to know one. In fact, the people that I left behind, there was one with him. She was a healer, I believe. Yeah, she was a pretty decent healer. One of the only sane people there, but she was quite fascinating. Very proud of her heritage. She seemed like your people seem like you're very happy about the fact that you're different from the white-winged ones.
Yeah, well, some of them are pirates and they suck, so.
Didn't know that. If I had, I would have gone and purged them too. May have to go back to Seashine then and fix that.
Oh, I'll go back and fix it with you. How they're still on the council, I don't know.
Council? Oh, right, the Averill government.
Yeah, we have elections, kind of. Anyway. 12 tribes
Yes,
and all
it's
that.
it's not quite as efficient as having the strongest one rule for you, but you know, to each their own.
Prevents the dumbest one from ruling, hopefully. I say hopefully. Yeah,
Well, politics are never really my thing. Don't really care about it all that much. All I really care about is purging evil where I see it. Like those cheats. No one cheats me at cards. It's an evil that is unforgivable. Anyway, you I saw you when you were watching me. You had a couple of others with you. Are they wanting to join too? I'm happy to pay for drinks for all of you. Are you going to be planning? Are you planning on staying here? We could be roommates.
Hey, I'm the only girl here, so I'd love, except for Vinda, but she's always in her necklace, so.
Vinda pops out. Hey!
Oh, there's a creature that comes out of the necklace. Is that normal?
She's a fairy. Yeah, she lives there.
And I was liking you so much.
And you talk. That's different. You never seen what'd you call it? A fairy? Eh? No. Oh, but I did see a fairy dragon. Are you related?
A what?
Fairy dragon. The Gloamling had one.
What? What?
Is that
There
a
are
thing? Is that
fairy
like not a? Yeah, of course.
Interesting.
They're small. And well, the one that I saw was like that big, but I got the impression that it was like a baby or something.
No, she was like this big.
Yeah.
it translates to being smaller because the dwarf is smaller.
Pretty much.
That's how sizes work, right?
Or maybe that's just how she remembered it.
Since there's a break right here,
You saw a.
go ahead.
You saw a fairy dragon?
Yeah. Well, one. It was a pet of the Gloamling. Solus. That was her name.
So, where do you get fairy dragons?
No.
They're really rare. I know a little bit about them, but not very much.
I don't know.
you
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 guys
ever
can
been
have
out
a
there?
discussion of fairy dragons. Whatever. It was a pleasure meeting you.
What?
Oh, you're already leaving. Hey, just go. We just
How
met.
many?
There's nothing else going on around here. You're the first people that have actually approached me and said hi. Well, I mean, I had to go up to those cheats in order to get them to let me play. Even then, I had to threaten them, and then they cheated me. It was a very stupid move on their part.
Yeah, nope. I'm going. I'm like looking at curiosity and just being like, yeah, just don't.
Vinda's gonna fly over and land on your head, lean down, and poke you in the forehead. Stop being.
I'm gonna lean to Daphne. Hey, you want to see a way we can make him stay?
Sure.
Hey, you want to hear about all the stuff that we did?
Yes, obviously. I've already said that several times.
Yeah, as I hear that, like Harmony's like he's getting visually like upset. Like he's gonna go right up into your face, Winter. And like, do you think this is a game?
And Vinda pokes
Are
you in
you
the forehead
serious
again.
right now? You think it's a game?
Kind of lead
Then
in.
you just get out. If you think it's a game, you leave. You never come back. You're gonna endanger the lives of everyone here. It's not a game. It's life and
That
death.
necklace you have,
There are more
young
people
one.
at stake than just our people. No.
The necklace
Shush.
you have on your young one. I recognize the symbol.
And then I just storm off before I do something worse.
Oh, good night.
He's an intense one. I can see
There's
why you lost your
the
job.
chair that I sat down in
Yeah.
gets flipped across the room.
He's
And
had a really
you just thought it was Vinda, I guess,
guess.
and she kind of huffs.
I can see why the other one would suck the joy out of things. Anyway, like I was saying, the necklace you're wearing, yes, I'm familiar with that. I've seen it before, actually. Do you know what it means? She's looking at you.
Are you talking to me? Oh. And she touches her necklace. Well, my father gave it to me, but he didn't really tell me much about it.
It's unfortunate. I've seen it quite a bit in a couple of my readings.
Really?
You ever heard of a place called Light's Peak?
I think so.
Well, it's one of the places I'm headed to next. It's a former paladin temple. It was pretty important back in the day here, but it has since gone silent, and I wanted to see why. But in all my readings of it, when I was at the Seashine archivist, that symbol kept coming up. I didn't know it, but I couldn't find anything about it. Surprised to see someone here that would be wearing it, and not. But I was sort of hoping you might know something.
It was just, I thought it was like an heirloom or something.
Well, it could be an heirloom, but it's definitely important to someone. So, barring Mr. Intensity over there, you can't tell me what's going on because, well, I wouldn't want you to get in trouble with that. Whew. Anyway.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to tell you anyways.
I mean, it's sad, but, you should have more courage for yourself. But anyway, moving around with that, if you're not doing anything terribly important, that, I wouldn't want to, try and part you with that necklace, as it seems like it's important to you, but, I could certainly use help. Not that I'm not capable myself, I usually am, but the last time I went to an ancient temple, there were blood-sucking demons, spirit ghosts, and, well, it just was quite a freaky, and I would rather not do that again on my own.
It's
What
about this
kind of
point.
temple did you go to?
Yeah, it's
Young one, you don't want to know the name of that one place.
I do, though. And I kind of scoot forward, kind of interested.
Ari.
I was going to say that Ari has set up his lute and has been playing a little bit of a song for Lady
Okay.
Hammer, who swings her mace.
Okay. Need to roll and see if she even notices. What? Why did the music stop?
I don't know.
Music is stupid. Yes. Video pause. Are you still watching? What is this, Netflix?
Yeah, why is YouTube asking if you're still watching? What is this nonsense?
So if it was Netflix, you'd be buffering.
Yes, I am still watching. Duh. Let's switch this up to some tavern music. Okay, so you guys, some of you talked to Daphne. Oh, right, I was rolling. Okay. So you guys, you talking to her, and she's telling you about some of her things and the things she's been through. Harmony, where did you go after you stormed off?
Yeah. So I walked over to the bartender and
Okay.
asked him for directions to the sleeping Messiah.
Okay. I'll put a pin on that for just a second.
Yep.
please.
And then I'm leaving.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So Barry, as she's conversing and you go to a corner, at first you start playing your music. Even you are having a hard time hearing yourself over the babbling around you. But then after a few minutes, it kind of gets quieter as people listen. The people around you listen, and you hear Daphne. Oh, I'm not sure I want to tell you that story, lass. You might be too young to hear. Who's singing about me? And she looks over. And then she gives you a thumbs up. Hi, thank you. No, about time someone sang my praises. And then she goes back to her conversation with you.
That's Ari. He's also with us.
I figured I saw him when you came in. But anyway, as I was saying, Harmony, answer your question. Did I not? Didn't. Whoopsie. I'll have to fix that later. Okay. So you come up to the barkeep, who is still quite busy, and you see him as he's like taking orders, wiping down counters. He continues to eyeball the dwarven paladin in the corner of the room as she's talking. Like, it's only half paying attention because you hear, obviously, you could hear if something else goes wrong. So he's a little wary. So it takes you a second to get his attention, but then he sort of snaps out of what he's doing. He's like, pardon me? What? Did you ask me something?
Yeah. Sleeping Messy, our friend, asked me to go pay a visit to their shadier business practices and make them stop, so if they're a competitor of yours, it might be good for you.
I mean, I don't have a problem directing you, but you may not like where I send you. If you're really keen on trouble, it's in the floating market, but I wouldn't go there if I were you. Especially since, I mean, you're a newcomer, right? You look fresh meat. Unless you're gonna jump into that cesspool real fast. I'm not sure why you'd want to go there.
A friend asked me to. I'm gonna go knock some sense into people.
I mean, good luck with that. It's in the floating market. It's kind of buried in the gang's turf, but you know, if you're smart, you might be able to get there.
Oh, there's a gang. Great. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Somebody tells me these things. They're just like, there's a tavern that's doing some illegal things.
He leans in closer and he motions for you to lean closer to him. Yeah, I mean, I'm really not supposed to say much out loud. I don't know who's listening, but yeah, since you're new, I guess you probably wouldn't know, but yeah, the Floating Hand lives there. That's their territory. That's why no one goes down there. Even the guards don't really venture too far unless the Floating Hand gets involved in things that are a little more outside of the illegal zone that they're normally in. It's smuggling, racketeering, that kind of thing. Usually not murder. Depends. But I would, if you're really keen on going there, I would just be super cautious. Do you have a contact or someone to ease you in?
No, I'll think of something. Thank you, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you want my advice, son, I would just say, I mean, I don't know who this friend is of yours. You know, if you don't really care about them all that much, I would avoid it and let them deal with their own problems. That's just me. And he kind of nods at you, and someone else catches his attention, and he goes back to serving. Curiosity this whole time has been like just kind of looking around, just taking it all in. Rafi has, however, as Harmony, as you're like, looking around, keeping track of curiosity as you're thinking about things, you also notice Rafi has managed to find someone who's passed out drunk but still has some sort of alcohol in their cup, and is straight drinking out of that, as apparently decided that person's not going to finish it, so he's finishing it for him.
I'm gonna go stand over by Rafi. So, Rafi, place nobody wants us to go is controlled by gangs. Thinking there might be a dwarf that is a very good punching bag that likes to break skulls. That might be good. What are your thoughts?
He looks over at the dwarf. He looks at you, rolls his eyes. But then as you're like kind of nodding off, he puts his paw up, stopping you.
Yeah.
Kind of points it at her.
All right. Well, looks like we're gonna have some fun. By fun, I
He
mean
nods at you.
danger, punching people in the face. Not exactly.
He looks back at the ale he's drinking.
Sort of thing.
He just keeps pointing at the ale like, can I go back to drinking?
Yes, yes. I did. I was not like I was stopping him from drinking.
Well, but based on your last conversation about drinking, he's like almost kind of like, am I in trouble for this, or are you just asking my opinion?
No, I'm just asking. Yeah, just like, no. Thanks for your opinion. I'm gonna go see if I can recruit as a dwarf.
He nods at you, and then buries his head back in the drink.
Why? That's just like.
And then there was the sleep in town, and the Goliath got stuck in the window. It was hilarious. But I don't think he was able to get out of it. We had to give him a firm push through the window, and then he broke the window, which was worse. But fortunately, no one found out that we did it, and I didn't have to do. But then they left me after that, and well, it was a little bit heartbreaking. We traveled for a while. I felt like we were close, and they left me. But, I got over it, and I'm traveling now on my own. And, yeah, like I said, I'm looking at this temple. It's Light's Peak. I think it might be the next place. Nice place for me on my list. But that's basically me, in a nutshell, and all the things I've done. Well, not all of the things. It'd take too long to talk about all the things I've done.
Wait a minute.
The highlights.
Didn't someone say something about a Light's Peak we were looking for? Or they were looking for, or something?
I mean, you're the, yeah.
Who are you asking this to?
Well, you're like playing your flute
Yeah.
across the room.
I'm across the room.
What are Bramble and Gorm
Do
doing?
you remember? Do you remember
Bramble actually
something
is going
about-
to go over and join Bar playing the flute with his flute. So he'd be across the room.
Gorm, my stabby buddy. Want to go kill some gangsters?
Gorm is already gone.
All right, Gorm's already gone. Cool. All right, noted. Classic Gorm.
Winter, do you remember anything about that? I thought there
You
was something.
You may recall
Yeah.
the barrel with the salt and the eyes.
Oh no. Yeah, I forgot. Because you asked about me. Are you trying to sell the magic eyes? Oh no.
The eyes are upon us.
Oh great. All right. So,
Real quick, Ari and Bramble, you managed to make 60 silver between the two of you in people's appreciation.
60 silver? Oh, okay. Which is 6 gold.
So 3 gold apiece.
I mean, it's 60 silver. It's not gold pieces, it's 60 silver. I'm just saying. It's
you can just
specifically
magically convert
silver.
it. It's how money conversion
No.
happens. Just
No.
money.
Money.
Bloop. You just like push 10 of them together, it makes it gold. And you can pull it apart into 10 silver. It's magic currency.
That would
It would
actually
be
be pretty
really
cool.
It'd be really
Yes. We just said that at the same time.
cool. Out here.
Oh, no.
60 each or 30 or 60 total?
It was 60
mean,
total,
like-
so 30 each.
People kind of pile it in front of you, so you can split it however you want. I assume like Ari has a hat or something he usually puts out, and within that you've collected 60 silver.
Small case that goes with the loot.
Harmony, what were you saying before?
So, when I was making my way over, did I hear Vinda asking about the lights peak thing?
Sure, because I don't want to. We could go through the whole. Oh, you didn't. But or we could just say that you heard. So we'll just say that you heard.
I mean, or Winter maybe remembers who was looking for it.
I don't think Winter does. just judging by Winter's player space, I don't think that that's a thing.
I think I don't. I'm trying to find it. I don't.
It was. I can help if you want, but only if you ask.
I know it was
Was it-
important. That's about all I remember.
There was
Wasn't
that.
Nakara
There was
looking
that
for it?
weird guy.
Yeah, Nakara was looking for it, right?
Yes.
Ding ding ding.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, so I'll come over. Yeah, so we're like,
What about
yeah,
again?
that was the whatever it was. I don't remember.
Orsinium. I look at him like
Yes.
very pointedly when I say that.
I was like, right. I didn't want to say that and then do wrong, and then have you look at me that way. So
Still happened anyway.
no, we had a friend who was looking for lights. Orsinium, kind of creepy looking dude. Doesn't wear a lot of clothes. Said he might have waited for us here. Have you seen anybody like that?
Next question. Sure, he counts as a
No,
friend.
but that makes so much sense now. I went to the Sergeant Archivist looking for information there. They told me that they kicked out this guy who was like super argumentative, that he wouldn't leave because you have to privilege access to get in there, obviously. And I, of course, had to. But he didn't, and they, refused him entrance, and they were going on and on about how he just, like, I think he choked someone out, got angry. I think he's in jail now.
That sounds like Nakar.
Yeah,
in jail?
Well, I mean, he sold to the guild member in the guild site. Yeah, he's in jail. I'm not sure if he ever got out.
Yeah, he was scary. That's why I'm saying it, not exactly a friend, just a acquaintance.
So, and I look at Harmony. I look up at Harmony. Can we get him out, or are we leaving?
We'll get him out before we leave.
All I know is that
He had some shady things were happening there, and he was gonna go look for his sister, who was taken because she had special powers of some sort, if I'm recalling correctly.
What was that? Something like that.
Yeah, it was like a slave industry
I think
going there.
maybe you just got information from shady people, or I don't know what.
This gets more and more interesting at the minute. Well, I was already
Right.
going to go there.
So
but
that's a
I
long
heard-
term. Long term.
Oh,
We have things to
you
take care
have
of.
more things to say.
I have a proposition for you. So you want to kick out evil, right? Well,
I mean, yes, that is my general premise in life.
I need to go
That's a
into.
pretty good premise.
I need to go into the floating market and take care of some bootleg people. So, you want to go punch
Bootlegging.
some skulls? Illegal.
I mean,
alcohol
bootlegging doesn't
being
seem like that
sold.
big of a crime. Honestly, I don't know why we even have bootlegging laws. I mean, people want to drink alcohol, it's not
As
good
well
for
as
them, that's
causing
their
a friend of
problem.
mine some problems in Zagata. And it gives you an excuse to go fight some evil people.
I mean, the
Like,
floating
no
city.
doubt the
is a cesspool.
bootlegging is being run by the gangs. So,
Alright, counter proposition. Yeah, I help you with your floating hand problem. You help me with my Lights Peak problem.
fine, we're gonna go there anyway. Probably because we're gonna get Nakar out. And he was going there.
Oh, we're taking angry elf men too.
Do we have to?
Do you want him to break out and find out we ditched him and he didn't get to save his sister?
As long as this sister's
I mean, when you put it that way, intensity, I think probably breaking out the angry elf would be ideal. Probably do that. No offense, light bulb. It'll be fine.
Her name's Vinda. She
She's
kind
trying
of.
to nick
Oh, you
his
hadn't
friend.
said that before.
She might get angry, and you don't want her to get angry. 'Cause then she'll do portal
Why?
thingies. So
I mean, I've dealt with anger.
because
Did you not see what I kicked out? That was angry.
Yeah, but little fairy, causes lots of destruction. Let's just say that.
Anyway, do you guys have a place to stay?
Well, we were gonna try and find a place here. We haven't done it yet. Since, we just got here.
Oh, just.
Yeah.
Well, you got two options. You can stay here. I mean, through Parallel Gentleman's pretty nice. I've stayed here a couple of times. Or, I could probably pull some strings and get you into the Cathedral Tears.
What exactly?
Cathedral Tears. It's the local, church for the Aquanian magic. Water magic.
They let you do.
I mean, lead is, I can probably pull some strings. I mean, all I really need to do is tell them that you're champions of the light and you're helping me purge darkness from all the lands. Blah, 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 epic speech, fun.
We do call ourselves Arsenal, so...
Good for you. Need to be more names like that around here. Most of these people have things like floating hand and the.
Yeah, what sort of name is that?
I think it has something to do with hand and the fact that there's a floating market. I think that's all the thought that came to. Do I look like a wordsmith?
One might think that gangsters are not the most intelligent or creative people.
Yeah, they're...
An excellent point.
I looked at Daphne. You were talking about those one people. What were their names?
Blood something.
The group that left you?
There was... What? Oh! I thought you were talking about the blood-sucking demons. No. It's right on the tip of my tongue. It was like... something giant. Honestly, I don't even remember their names except for the soulless one. And...
The what?
The soulless one. Her name was Soulless. An unfortunate name. Her parents must have hated her. But anyway.
Okay.
No, she was a gloamling.
Midget Giants. That's what it was. The Midget Giants. That's what their name was.
What even?
I mean, I wasn't there when they named themselves that. But that's what they named
Curiosity at this point. I think you mean solace. I think you're mispronouncing the word. Because
no, I'm pretty sure it was Solus.
No, it's definitely pronounced solace. I think it's wrong. Solace is
peace. That makes much more sense.
She definitely called herself Solus.
So, I'm Curiosity. He's Harmony. So the gloamling you're talking about must have been Solace.
Well, he was misnamed horribly.
There's no way Solus would be bad. Parents wouldn't do that to their children. That would be bad.
I don't know what to tell you, son. I distinctly heard her call herself Solus on many occasions. Also, he's been horribly misnamed. You, on the other hand, I can see that. I can see that. But yeah, I'm cool with that, and I'd probably get you into the cathedral if you perform well in defeating the floating hand. Defeating, I doubt that can. I mean, I shoot for it, but they're pretty entrenched down there. But if you guys are
sure
fighters,
know not to try and come back and mess with us, so I would prefer to deal with it quietly. But if it turns into a fight, we're gonna have to do some major cleanup to make sure they don't come after us. I take another sip of my drink. Just
I mean, if they come after you, you just beat them in the head with your hammer, and it's really not that big of a deal. But whatever you want, it's your mission. We'll do it your way. Don't have a problem following people.
I'll just send Iggy after them.
What's an Iggy?
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. Setting things on fire. That's
fire.
A fire
What's a golem?
a rock monster.
That I made.
You have a rock monster following you about?
Not really, no. He's more of clay and fire.
Seems like all the groups I join have these strange pets following them about. Well, whatever. Just let me know when you're ready. I'm gonna drink a couple more ales to get myself prepared, and then whenever you're ready to go, we can go.
All right, I guess since Ari and Bramble weren't there, I would go be like, hey, we can get a better place, and also I need to deal with this problem that Novi asked me to look into, and it's in the middle of gang territory, and I kind of want the dwarf to go bust some skulls in case we get into trouble. But she'll get us nicer digs.
So Winter, you know about fairy dragons, and you never mentioned. How did I not know they were good?
I can't hear you, Binda. It's you out for me.
She's wanting to know how you never told her about fairy dragons.
How did I not know this was a thing?
I thought you knew you were a fairy. I just thought fairy dragon. You just know about them. Didn't know you didn't know.
No, I didn't.
Well, they're really cool, but I don't know that much about them. I just know they exist, and I want one. So.
Join the
But I don't think I'm ever getting one because my aunt and uncle said like it's really hard to get one, and then you got to do all this. Yeah. And then you never know actually what you're getting because they could be fire, they could be electric. I guess there's like all this.
Oh, what? It's a fairy dragon. What?
I'm gonna go join the minstrel group, and I'm gonna do some slam poetry over the top.
Let me lay down the sick beats.
Teaming up with the obnoxious dwarf because I have no choice. Sadness. Also rain
I'm gonna try to.
coursing through my veins.
Try to
We
draw-
go beat the people senseless.
See, don't you regret getting involved now?
No, because I like having somebody else besides me that might potentially be tank-like. Just
she's
Harmony doesn't
tank-like.
like it.
You
Out of
just
character,
looking at
I'm
her-
very happy with the dwarf existing.
I mean, in character, Harmony can look at her and be like, I think the term tank was invented to describe this woman. Like, that's pretty much who she is.
Right, so are Bramble and Ari on board with the go fighting the gangsters potentially?
Well, yeah.
Why not?
So
Feel free to say no and send me all by myself to go fight the gangsters.
With Daphne.
And us.
you require
I'm a girl.
Eric to take
I
care
already know about it, so I'd be going.
See, he doesn't even need the recipe. He's got the Fempe towels. The four of you go into there and take it all out.
Oh, dear.
So let me get this straight. You require assistance to take care of some ne'er-do-wells in the floating market.
Yeah, so basically what happened was Novi told me that some people had been selling bootlegged alcohol out of the Crimson Horse Tavern, and that since it was in her establishment, she could have gotten in trouble, so she traced it back to this place that's in the floating city, the floating market, and asked me to take care of the problem. And I feel like we kind of owe them, because we stayed with them for a bit.
Let me double check something on one of my documents.
Also, Harmony, since you're now being reminded of this story, of what's going on, you also remember, too, that the reason it's bootleg is because it's highly poisonous. It's a highly
Right.
poisonous
Yes.
substance.
It's like moonshine that makes you go blind and die.
If enough of it is consumed, it can be very, very dangerous.
Bad. It's bad stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like a bad idea, but as long as people know that they're doing it. But the
It's
fact
just a
that they're getting
delicacy.
Novi and the Crimson Force Tavern in trouble is a problem for our from our more.
How exactly would you like them dealt with?
Well, I figured we'd go in, ask them nicely, and when they refuse, we beat them up.
Would you like them left alive, or would you like them their spirits to vacate their persons?
Probably depends on how they respond.
All right. Because this
Wow.
is a situation where Zagata is considered part of the Fate Dominion. They committed theft. Theft is dishonor. Dishonor is death.
If the group is
Alright,
all
so if
red
you
and
want to
alive,
if we get into a fight and you just want to start killing them, that's totally fine with me. I'm not going to stop you.
If we get
The
into a
gangsters
fight,
selling poison to people.
yes. If we get into a fight with them, my point is basically to make sure we get out alive.
Well, yeah, that is the primary goal. Well, primary goal is
Yep.
to stop them. Secondary, obvious,
That's
implied
pretty
goal
much
is
the ground
us
rule.
all
If we're
making
in a
it
fight,
alive.
yeah.
All right. Let me know when. I shall be ready.
I think we're going as soon as the dwarf's finished pounding a couple more ales. Apparently, she needs to go in super buzzed.
that's
You
a
look
good
over,
idea.
she's got 5 cups already emptied, and she's now scooping up her coin.
I'm
Putting
still
it in
like
her pouch.
like sipping mine.
That's interesting
Maybe if
considering
she was like a master of the drunken fist, this would work.
that makes so much sense considering the poem I just wrote. It's not a good poem. It's more of bad lyrics, but it's
She'll
interesting.
be able to keep going longer because she won't feel as much of the pain.
Dwarven
Alright, so,
logic right there.
Dwarven logic.
We want to find Gorm.
Many foe and
Probably went to
tankers were
the
fall.
magic market. The magic. Like, we should probably stop by the main marketplace and see if we can find Gorm.
Yes, if you wish to recruit him, yes, we will probably need
I mean,
to.
the more bodies we have, the more threatening we'll look, and the less likely we'll have to punch people. Although, since the guards don't even like going down there, the probability of us needing to go punch some people is probably pretty high.
Considering who we are dealing with, or at least the scope of their particular trade, we might wish to have more bodies as well. I agree with you. I'll see what I can't do about finding Guam and such.
We're taking the Gorm to gangland. We're taking the Gorm to gangland.
What's the dwarf
Gorm,
wrong
the
with
people
us?
you get to kill without getting into debates with people about whether or not they should die. Isn't it great? We can just straight up kill them. It's great. I found the bad people.
Well done, Harmony. Alright, so, yeah. If you guys kind of getting ready, the dwarf seems like after she chugs down two more drinks.
I'll hand her the
Yeah,
last of mine because I'm not.
Now, you're gonna need to drink that. You're gonna need it ready to go. That'll make you have courage.
I think I'm
I
good
never
now.
drink another woman's ale. It's wrong.
Okay.
Here's the question: what is she drinking?
Yeah, Winter has no idea. She
Or
never
is
asked.
it flammable?
And I'm like just barely
It's
sipping
alcohol,
it, and
of
I'm
course it's flammable.
disgusted.
Not necessarily.
Alright, so,
Well, I feel like it's probably high enough proof that it is flammable.
Yeah.
Oh, so she's drinking
I
mugs
mean-
of high alcohol content whiskey. Great.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
it's, yeah, I mean,
it's a dwarf.
what
They're
it
not
was-
gonna drink like some weak sauce, like beer or something.
Stuff that like evaporates in your mouth. It has so much alcohol.
Yeah. It's a dwarf. That's part of the challenge is to drink something and make sure it gets down all your gullet.
So
All the
how
alcohol.
big are the tankards?
Like this big, but as wide as
Are
the
they not
top
this
part.
size? So they're bigger than this.
Oh, so enough
Oh,
to
they're
give a
definitely
small...
bigger than yours. She's
Oh, so
basically
that's
drinking out. She's drinking out of a container that would be probably adequate for a Goliath.
So
how
about a
big
pint.
is Winter?
Sounds
Winter is about as big as Sirva is in real life.
5.5
So
feet.
one of these would be enough to put her into an alcohol coma and die of alcohol poisoning.
I mean, she's probably been sipping it. I think she's had enough alcohol.
Yeah,
where she's real strong.
I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed at all with it, so I'm taking really tiny little sips.
Yeah, Winter's probably okay. But yeah, no. Daphne's drank 7 of those containers. And you watch her, she scoops in the silver, she stands up on her hammer, She kind of jumps. She doesn't really get out of her chair, as more just jumps up to her feet. Seems to be still coordinated. Seems to still be. I mean, she's a little bit jumpier than she was when you first came in. A little bit louder. It's like the amount of alcohol she drinks translates into how loud she is. So she's almost shouting now. But other than that, she seems pretty much the same. She comes up to you, Harmony, and says, "Right, well, I'm good to go when you are."
Right, we just gotta pick up a friend on the way.
Well,
Alrighty.
she takes her hammer,
That'd be great.
straps it to her back.
Harmony's
By
just
the way,
like,
her-
yep, I was gonna do this later, but I'm feeling angry now, so we're gonna go do this now. So I only have to feel angry once.
I'm
Alright,
just
with that-
imagining. We're just
Go ahead.
imagining the dwarf walking down the street, banging on the ground, singing "We Will Rock You."
I mean, if she knew that song, she probably would. Alright, so with that, we're going to take our 10-minute break here.
Alright. Live stream, just give us about 10 minutes or so. Give us a few minutes to get up, stretch our legs, and various other things. And we'll be right back.